You're watching National Streaming Sports. Over 20 podcasts, 70 shows, and a 3.5-star rating on Roku TV. You're listening to the Captain Jack Sports Show on Northeast Streaming Sports.
All right, everybody, how you doing? Captain Jack here. Did he catch that? Oh, okay. So he caught. Okay, so Alonso caught the ball, and then he. Oh man, no one. Okay, I was wondering what the hell it was in the hole. I hate the Mets, obviously, because I'm a Phillies fan. I hate the Mets. But I do like Pete Alonso only because, well, he's a Gator and he's from Tampa and he's a cool guy. He can't stand the fact that he's a Met. So hello everybody that's here. I see Just Win Baby 11 is here. Melissa, is it Melissa Scoob? 81 Raider and Owen the Sniper over there on Instagram. Thanks for being here. Ron McClendon, good to see you, brother. Bourbon, I haven't seen you in like a while, man. Brian, that. Oh shit, I see. I don't know why that I shouldn't have the, the circles of death. Raider C Dub. Yeah, and I'm actually watching that, Brian. I'm going back and forth. I was watching, the Mets and the Dodgers game. Obviously, and I'm not a bandwagon. I am a Phillies fan. This is my Phillies hat. Y'all know that. I don't bandwagon when it comes to my team. Flyers suck. I think they've won one game this year. Really, I think they've won one game. But love the Phillies. Sorry that they're not there. Cannot stand the Mets. Dodgers for sure. And I've said this before. My great uncle was their trainer when he ditched his family in New York in 47 and went with the Dodgers to California. That's devotion to a team. So, hey, Dory. Good to see you, sweetheart. Gotta love Dory. Yes, gentlemen. You're awesome as well. Gotta love Dory. Gotta love the ladies. Yeah, I got you. Rez Boxing's over there, so that would be Angelo over there on Instagram. Kavan Nosage. That's unique. Big Germ 40. Matt Marinovich over there on YouTube. Thanks everybody for being. If you can't really get your comments in, it's because you're on a channel that I can't see most of you. Like I said, I see a lot of the Facebook is here. But I can't, if you're on my channel, sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't. If you're on my profile, I can't see it until well after the show. And I'd love to see your comments immediately. We are on the National Streaming Sports Network. Did you guys see the new advertisement on that? That was pretty cool. In fact, I have it as the intro. I'm going to show it again. It's not that I'm required to do this, but I think they did a really good job of this. Let me see if I can find it again. Hang on. Okay, yeah, here it is.
You're watching National Streaming Sports. Over 20 podcasts, 70 shows, and a 3.5-star rating on Roku TV.
It's pretty cool. I accidentally hit it again. Sparks 469. I'm going to try to, I always try, if you're here, I do try to see if you come into the show. I do like to acknowledge you. And thanks, Bial. That was my question. And I was like, who's the Raiders' third string quarterback? Minshew sucks. I've gone full circle on him. I thought, yes, he could be, he was probably the best for what they wanted to do for the first quarter of the season. The first quarter of the season's done. Was this game 7? We're 2-5. I don't think I'm going to get that money in Vegas. I don't, unless they have a really, if they really turn things around. And that's the other thing. I'd love to see them turn things around. Carter Bradley per Angelo. And like I said, and it was Bial was saying, will we see Carter Bradley? So Angelo, I'm actually answering that. See, and I will show you, Angelo, that it really was him that said it. Yep. And Matt Marinovich says right now he picked number 6. Carter Bradley can't do any worse. Really? Seriously, he can't do any worse. Infield fly out. So right now, Banda's pitching for the Dodgers. Gotta love the Dodgers, man. Anybody against the New York friggin' Mets. I did catch a little bit of the Jets when I was in the other room getting my drink for the show. Ed, good to see you. Ed Winchell. Between 2019 and 2022, Raiders drafted 7 first-round picks, and none are with the current team. None. Raider Mode, good to see you. Ahoy to you as well. Stickum, Penn Belt. I try to, like I said, I try to acknowledge folks as they come in. Dangerous Company 2024. LDR Live. Team sucks. Coaching sucks. It's like Oakland Raiders. Whoa. 2004 under Norv Turner. Fire sale incoming. If you don't want to stick around for a rebuild, it's time to go. I'm in. I've been here for 52 years. I ain't going anywhere. You guys know I'm not going anywhere. But it's just it's so disheartening. Booger Mania. And Mo's over on YouTube. Thanks, Mo. Booger Mania Soy Boy. Okay. I still think it's gross that people tell me he picked his booger and ate it. I wonder if anybody asked him about that. I think that maybe anybody who did want to ask him about that was probably advised don't bring up the booger eating incident. Norv Turner's kid is on the staff. Well, you can reach out to him. His offense has got to be better than what friggin' Getsy's putting on, right? It's got to be better than Getsy's offense. No, I understand, Ray Love. I'm seriously. Gardner Minshew said that's gross. I know. I'm just saying. Gardner Minshew in a video, and I haven't seen it, but people were telling me this, ate a booger. Tam, baby, good to see you. And Melissa, hi, Captain Jack, hello to you. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, no. Cam Ward, yes. Shedeur Sanders, no. No. I'm going to say a dirty word right now. Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to bring him up. Sometimes you get a kid whose father was an athlete and he works. He's not like with the big head. And I think it is because Patrick Mahomes Sr., who did make it to the major leagues and I don't say he was a star pitcher, but he was a very good pitcher in his own right. But he wasn't a superstar. He didn't have that big friggin' head. Shedeur Sanders with Deion Sanders as his father, I just think that would be that would just be stupid. There you go. And LER Live says, I've seen it live. Minshew pick his nose after getting benched and ate it. That's gross. That is gross. Do you think Brady talking to Belichick about coaching the Raiders are true? I don't know. It's all bullshit right now. It's all bullshit. You know, whatever the press wants to say, it's all bullshit. By the way, the Dodgers got out of the inning. It's now the middle. I can't see the middle of what inning, but it's Dodgers are still winning 2-1. Hey, Anna, good to you. And permission to come aboard. And I know it's been 2 weeks since I've been on my show. By the way, Angelo, we definitely got to talk. That was a surprise. I did a show, and I'm so happy. I tried to do a show with NFL Nation Live 2 Wednesdays ago. I didn't have internet at the hotel. I did have internet this past Wednesday. I did do NFL Nation Live. I wasn't going to not do NFL Nation Live if I had internet because it's a compendium show. It's a company thing. I wanted to do that. I didn't want to leave my shipmates down. My shows And I did one 2 weeks ago. Why? Because I wasn't officially on night shift. I started the next night, the first Monday after 2 weeks ago on Sunday. I saw enough, and I said this on my show, I saw enough of the Raiders game that I could do a show. I saw enough of it. And then every game, or I should say every night since then, I've been on nights. It just threw my body over. When did I come home? Saturday. So it's what today's. So yesterday. God, it's weird. I came home yesterday. Yeah, I flew out yesterday. Which reminds me, I got to do my time card. So I've been busy. Yeah, I think that was it. The one you did that I like. Holy shit, they did a show. I didn't get any YouTube strikes on it, so I'm happy about that. Mike Vrabel. There you go. That's somebody. Not Bill Belichick. Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel. Yeah. I knew it was impromptu, Angela, because I didn't know anything about it. Mike Vrabel. That's that. Jason Marshall. You get the prize right there. Mike Vrabel. That's a coach. And I'm not going to super bad. I don't know what that. Angelo, I know that you have something. Let's see, boxes. I don't know what it is. I don't know what, because it's boxes. It comes up as boxes on Instagram. I don't know what it's icons or whatever, emojis. Got to be Belichick. He's better than Vrabel, or bring back Gruden. No, no on Gruden. No on Gruden. Gruden is too friggin' um, conservative. Belichick, the Jets for Steelers game is close and interesting to watch. Black Thanos is over on Instagram. Good to see you. Big Dog Raider. I because I have ties to the Dodgers Mets, I'm gonna watch that. Maybe during the commercials, I'll pop over and see the Jets game. The only thing that I would see on the Jets game, and I think I was starting to say this, was they had a little thing where Devontae Adams was kind of coaching up Wilson, the wide receiver. You know, I didn't hear what but it was basically like throw your hands up if you're going to be running free. Yeah, that's football 101. But it's stuff that you would say, and it's good stuff to know. And I agree with this. I agree with Anna Diaz. I don't want Bill Belichick as my coach. I don't. I'm on record saying that. I'm on record saying that when people were asking. I was on record saying that I didn't want Tom Brady as my quarterback. I didn't want that. And and I'm going to put this up, Brian. I agree, but I think that if God, is it out? Is it out? Is it out? Yes, it is. 2-run bomb. Who was that? Somebody just smoked it. Hey, Ed Winchell, I know I'm ahead of you. I talked to Ed Winchell. Tommy Edman just hit a 2-run home run. Every time Ed Winchell and I are on the phone together and we're watching a sports event, I'm about 7 seconds ahead of him. So I will see the home run or whatever, and I'm about 7 seconds. But yeah, a 2-run shot by Tommy Edman. I'm rooting for Adams to do well because I would rather have a second round pick. Yeah, I agree. That I agree with. That I agree with because if the Jets are in the playoffs, yeah, if the Jets are in the playoffs, then the Raiders get a second round pick for Adams. If he's on their roster. And I always throw that up at the, if he's not injured. Yeah, he'll be on the roster if he's not injured. It would be like, bad, if the Jets do make the playoffs and Adams is injured and then it's still a third round pick. I would have just said if the Jets make the playoffs, period, we get a second round pick. That would be, something I would have thrown in there. On the roster, my ass. If the Jets make the playoffs, we get a second round pick. Why? Because we know, and one of the reasons why the Jets would possibly make the playoffs is because of the work that Davante Adams did with that team. It's friggin' obvious to me. Go Dodgers. And the reason why I say Dodgers is because, again, I'm a Phillies fan, so of course can't stand the Mets. And hopefully, my boy Ed and I will be able to hang out and throw back some. I'll have some Grand Marnier in LA, celebrating, watching. Going to a good steakhouse, watching the Dodgers play in the World Series. That's a nice sharp hit. We also get a second round as long as Adams is in the second team All Pro. Yeah, that's what I said. So if he's good this year, then yeah, we get a second round pick. I'm just saying, if Adams is an All Pro, sure, I want the second round pick. That's what I want. And thank you, Anna Diaz. Jason Marshall, AFC Championship game for Jets. They got to turn it around, man. AFC Championship game. What's the score? And thank you. Anna says that I look healthy. I don't know. I did know that the ring that I normally wear on this finger was falling off. So I guess if it's either water weight or there is a couple pounds difference. The ring that I wore, which is seriously, it's a Jack Rackham logo. It's the shield or the skull and sabers where the shield go up. That is a Jack Rackham, Calico Jack flag logo. That's my ring. It's fallen off, so it's in my room. So I thank you. I think I'm healthy, and I need to and I will say this. I was away for 2 weeks. I haven't gotten paid yet, but my paycheck for the last 2 weeks is going to pay for my remodeled 2003. I think it's 2003. My remodeled 2003 F-150 Lariat. Going to look great. I will say that cost is basically going to be paid for, not all of it, but my 2 weeks of employment is going to, go, dude. Should be on third, man. Should have been on third. Why were you hesitating? Was that Max? Yeah, Max Muncy, dude, you should have been on third. There's no outs? Sure. I would have went. Hippie Thug, thank you for joining us. Brandon Mull, good to see you, brother. DJ Raiders, aka Raiders Ring Hat, good to see you, brother. Raider Voorhees. Black Thanos, I'm sure will probably be joining us later. I'm pretty sure Angelo will. How many years are we going to keep firing the coach and realize it's the players? I would say, Asa, Yes, to a point. But if the coach loses the locker room and his staff sucks, then you do have to change the coaches. I do agree with you here. I'm putting that up. Asa says, we keep firing the coach and realize it's the players. Well, yeah, but here's the other thing. Oh, he topped it. I can tell that Hernandez said, man, that was a home run if I would have hit it right. Raider Rich, thank you for being here as well. The defense at times played really well today. I know that there was that one fourth down play, and they didn't run for they being the Rams, and they had a pass, like a pass to the outlet, and the guy ran for like 20 something. It was deep in Raiders territory. I think it was right before the kicker missed the field goal. It was one of those plays, but the defense overall played well, and they kept saying it. One of the best third down defenses going. By the way, I still don't have the Sunday ticket, but I will say this. If you watch the Red Zone on DirecTV, I saw most of the Raiders game today, and I watched when I had to. I watched the friggin' Niners lose against the Chiefs, and I know that like Jack Kenna would probably, and a lot of people would say you got to root for the Chiefs. No, I'm not from NorCal. I don't have to root for anybody against the Niners. I'm going to root for the Niners against the Chiefs. That's just the way I am. Niner fans, yeah, they're assholes. Got it. But this is about teams. I'm going to root for the Niners team to beat. Did he park it? Yes! Another 2-run home run. Who is that? Is that Will Smith? Yeah, see, I actually seen these players by face. I know who it is. Will Smith parks a 2-run home run. Dodgers are now up 6-1 in the bottom of the third. Go Dodgers. Nice hit. Oh, he just cruised it. This year's been a storm of bad luck. You can't coach around 7 injured starters or your best weapon demanding a trade and a GM who didn't replace Jacobs. Sharif, by the way, because I haven't had a chance to talk to you, why the hell? And I like you, Sharif. You know this. We have no issues together. Why the fuck are you so hard on Wilkins? He got injured, right? But he was playing up to the contract before he got injured. Okay? He was doing his job. He played well. Is that another home run? Oh, Taylor almost had a home run. Warning track. And Sharif, this is why I got to ask you. It's like, see, I told you. He was doing his job, man. He was doing his job. He was playing well. He got injured. You can't, was it coach? You can't coach against injuries, or you can't coach for injuries, He was doing his job. So, there you go. Hey, Ken Clark, good to see you, brother. Ken Clark from Palatka, right? We figured that one out. It's Palatka, Florida. I hope that the hurricane didn't hit you hard. Jets are up 15-6 over the Steelers. Steelers suck. Yeah, I know we lost to them, but they suck, which means we just suck more. And I agree. I agree with Anna Diaz. By the way, I will be in Vegas this weekend. Hopefully, with my newly painted mobility scooter. The guy that I did have painting it, he suffered some like his house was damaged. Thanks there, Clayton. Thank you. Hit the like and share. Thank you there, shipmate. Clayton, my buddy, the Bronco fan. But his house suffered power outages, so I don't know whether he's gotten to my mobility scooter. I will be at Allegiant because I've already guaranteed a person that they're going to go to the game, so I'll be there. And I'll be there at pretty much all the rest of the games in Allegiant. Why? Because I've already made arrangements. I can stop with some arrangements. I might stop the game. Was it like near Christmas, the Jaguars game? And I know Ken Clark is a Jaguars fan. If I sell my Jag tickets, but the thing is that it's near Christmas. Are there going to be people that are paying a bunch of money for my tickets? I will say that I sold my tickets to the game last week at a good price, and but at least I sold it to a Raiders fan, and I made a little bit of money. Made some money. Anna's hosting a wedding for your nephew. Well, Mazel tov. Mazel tov, man. That's Jewish or I should say Jewish. That's Hebrew. It is Jewish, but it's Hebrew for congratulations. Mazel tov. Steelers are 4-2. I know, but they suck. They are the weakest 4-2 team. And you know who the weakest 6-0 team is? The Chiefs. Man, I tell you, the Niners gave that game away today. They gave it away. How many interceptions did Purdy have? Seriously, how many interceptions did Purdy have? And they should have won. Seriously. Okay, Sharif. Yeah, they did whip. All right, I got it. They whipped our ass. Okay. I didn't see the full game. I saw like 20 minutes. I think did I say this? Yeah, I think I said this when I was on for the NFL Nation. I saw about 20 minutes of the game. Oh, that looks like okay, long out. Thank God, that looked like a home run swing. Purdy had 3, Mahomes had 2, but Purdy's were at the most inopportune times. So like to to end drives that should have ended in points, right? I mean, I know an interception is bad, but it was just that they were at the wrong time. Enough of this. Okay. I know you guys want to talk to me, or at least I'm hoping you do. I'm going to put up the link. And yet the only person that can come into the studio that doesn't need the link, and he knows who he is, he can come in. He can come in. I'm going to put the link up for everybody else. So hopefully we're going to have Angelo come in here. Hopefully we're going to have Sharif come in here. hopefully we'll have well, hell, Ed and Anna. That would be cool. Y'all can come in, and I'll put the link up over there on Instagram. If you want to come in on Instagram, you're gonna have to. You can't copy paste. You can't click on Instagram, but you can come in. Queef's got a lot of help from the refs. I think so. I saw like a bunch of friggin' holding that wasn't called. Clayton can talk to me about, and like I said, the Broncos are looking, and I didn't see the game. I think, what was it? The last night I had on mids was, I can't remember which game was it. It was I was going back. It was going back and forth for a baseball game, and they had the Saints game against the Broncos on, and the Broncos just kicked ass. So here, Clayton, here's to you. But I will be at Allegiant this weekend because I got to be at Allegiant. Because I'm going to be there. Ivanovsky 323, thank you for coming in on Instagram. Come on over to YouTube if you can. If you are on any of the things, remember we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, several Facebooks. We are on Roku on the National Streaming Sports channel. I really did like the new advertisement for that. That was really cool. Greg Spence and Joanna Spence, thank you for coming over there, over on Instagram. Black Thanos is going to be coming in. Angela, you can come in after Thanos. Be good to see you. We're gonna bring Thanos in. Yes, they did. Hey, brother, how you doing? Give me a mic check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Good to see you. Your mic check is 5 by 5, brother. How are you doing?
Considering the circumstances, brother, I'm breathing, but we've seen these times before. But before I proceed, a quick congratulations to my heroic, heralded hometown heroes. The New York Yankees, aka the Bronx Bombers, most successful franchise in the history of professional sports, who influenced and impacted a young, impressionable boy of the name of Al Davis many moons ago, who aspired and had the audacity to think at that early age, one day I will have an organization that will incorporate the qualities of that team as well as the Brooklyn Dodgers.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna harp on the Yankees, you better get the full equation.
That's
the full
right.
equation.
I have neighbors who are old enough to remember the Brooklyn Dodgers in Ebbsville. And just as Raider fans did a few years ago, talking about keep the team in Oakland, some of them were back in those days, keep the team in Brooklyn. And as you know, with the exception of 1955, the Yankees basically owned them in a lot of classic series. But it looks like they're going to advance, and this is prime time. The Yankees are built for it. We just beat the best closer in the game, humiliated him. We got a triple threat that's one of the most intimidating any pitcher can ever face. So the Dodgers are going to need that nice man from Japan and everything else, because the Yankees are a little more than just Judge this year.
No, they are. It's Judge and Stanton and Rizzo and
and Soto, of course.
And that's Soto. Right. Yes. But I was leaving Soto the last because I was going to say and Soto. who won the game last night.
So I'm expecting number 28, but just a great series with a lot of my friends out there on the West Coast, and LA being one of my favorite places. But the Yankees have always been in me since the 70s. So let's get to the less impressive part of the discussion.
Before you go, have I told this story before that my dad played in a World Series?
No, I've never heard that.
Okay. It is true. My dad played in a World Series. He played the drums for the national anthem.
Okay.
It was seriously. Whichever series had the Dodgers played the Yankees in the 70s. It was one of those series, okay?
So either 77 or 78, one of those
right.
two. And then one of those games. Was it in New York or was it
yes.
in okay.
It was in New York because my dad was a Yankees fan, and he was kind of like Al Davis. He liked the Yankees and he liked the Dodgers.
That's right. And remember Al Davis sharing a birthday with the late great George Steinbrenner.
Yes, he did. July 4th, baby. Yeah.
And
wait. I sold that story to say this one. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll let you go. Let you go after this. But do you remember a very diminutive outfielder by the name of Mickey the Quick Rivers?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Mickey Rivers was about my father's size. My dad was very small, okay? And Mickey Rivers was talking to my dad, and they were kind, in the dugout before they had the ceremony, with the national anthem, and so Mickey Rivers and my dad were talking, and they were about. I'm sure Mickey wasn't that much bigger than my dad, but my dad was very small. So they were talking about exchanging uniforms, and they probably would have been able to get away with it. So that's the old expression there. By the way, this is the last portion of the story, but this is important. The guy who sang the national anthem is a gentleman by the name of Bob Johnson. Okay, I don't know where he is now, but Bob Johnson was the backup running back behind Archie Griffin at The Ohio State University, and Bob Johnson had a knee injury. So he never amounted to anything, and that's why he left school. But he was one of the greatest voices for the Navy band, and it was Navy band that did it. My dad being in the Navy band. So the guys who played in the World Series from left to right, Mike Levy on drums, Chet King on drums, and Bob Johnson on vocals for the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem, in I think it was the '77 World Series. So there you go. I'm sorry.
Well,
I had to.
You can find that on YouTube, or I have a lot of old VHS tapes, inherited from family members or Yankee fans, and I'm sure there's probably video of that from the old PIX telecast, or what that was a national telecast, it being probably ABC of the World Series that year. I know '77 was definitely ABC.
Yeah,
but you could probably find the video footage, at least of the opening ceremonies, and maybe get a glimpse of your own.
I will. Sharif, if you can, you look for it, and I will look for it, and then maybe between the two of us, we might find it.
Right. Now that you told me it's with the Navy band, and that definitely will make it easier.
Yeah, Navy band, Star Spangled Banner opening for the World Series, Dodgers Yankees.
Got it. Well, that's cool stuff, and Mickey was quite beloved here.
Yes, he was. That's why I say, I'm a big Gurr guy. I've shrunk a little bit, but my dad was all of like maybe 5'2". He was he had medical issues, but he was very small. But yeah, right. So it was very small and thin. Dad looked like he dropped out of Auschwitz for most of the time. He was about maybe 100 pounds. So, wow. Yeah, he'd be easy to find. But I cut you off. I know I needed to have – go ahead and crow about the Yankees, and then go ahead and talk to me about the crap about the Raiders. And I want to know why you're so down on Wilkins, though.
Well, okay, well, I will revisit Wilkins, but we definitely have to talk about the present disaster.
Yes, yes, we will.
2-5. I have conceded the season. I actually conceded almost 2 weeks ago. You know, it's just way too much happening at once. I don't know if it's voodoo, bad luck, sabotage, a Tyler Perry movie, or what, but nothing has gone correct. And I don't think there's any coach in the business that could fare much better when you lose like a Wilkins, who's a starter, and a Kuntz, and your best offensive weapon gets out of here. You don't have a run game. You could go on and on and on. Epps, and it's, you know, and your quarterback being worse than your previous quarterback, that being Jimmy G.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
You know, and that's the thing that kills me about Telesco, because some people will praise him and say he does this and that and the other. But a man with 11 years experience has to know, with all the tape available on Minshew and what we just saw with Garoppolo, there's no quantum difference to commit him to 2 years and $25 million, which was basically like a lateral move. It didn't feel like a sincere or a act of conviction. Say, okay, we're going to try to get this team closer, who ended last year on a high note with all of Allegiant, and you might have been there as well, chanting AP's name, and all of us enthusiastic in January to this moment. We understand you couldn't get a quarterback. Maybe it was just too much capital involved. But Minshew, and then you only have 2 QBs on the roster, and you got about 8 or 9 linebackers. It seemed like it's, you know, this is bad. But I will caution those with selective memory, because I've seen a lot of comments in the chat and on various pages. Josh McDaniels was 2-7 with a team much better than this.
It's true.
With an all-pro Devontae and an all-pro Josh Jacobs and Mr. Everything, Derek Dallas Carr. Let's not forget that. That team was 2-7. Damn near at the same juncture that we're at right now. And nobody had a problem until he finally sat that former quarterback down. Then all of a sudden, you seen fans with signs talking about we deserve better. So, and again, with those who keep posting, well, don't you wish you had Derek Dallas Carr right now? Last I remember, and I was in Oakland when we played the Rams at Gruden's debut game, they blew us out the water.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was there.
And that QB had 3 interceptions. So if Minshew proved anything, he proved he can do the same thing your future Hall of Famer Derek Dallas Carr can do by throwing 3 interceptions. So let's give him some credit. They have something in common, like the Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown song. However, my friend, this is bad. And with KC on the horizon and hungry for payback after that Christmas massacre we dealt them, I don't see, and unless we make a serious move or do something drastic like Hugh Jackson did by getting Carson Palmer mid-season, or some sort of suitable starter who's at least a marginal upgrade from what we have, they may put 60 on us just to teach us a lesson, because we had the audacity to go in there with so much swagger and ruin their Christmas. And Jack Jones running that pick 6 back. I don't be surprised Mahomes make it his personal mission to put Jack Jones on the Jumbotron for the wrong reasons this upcoming Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It looks bad, my friend, but we've been here before, so I don't want to be redundant, but I've conceded the season. And I will say this in defense of AP, who's of course learning on the job, but you can't expect I wouldn't expect a seasoned coach. There've been coaches with better resumes who lost one or two starters, or their quarterback went down, so the year went to shit. You sure as hell can't expect that from somebody who has less than a full year. He's not even at a full season yet. He's close, but not quite. And if you were patient enough to watch John Gruden blow like 5 first-round draft picks, and some of you are still whining and crying for him to come back like he's supposed to be Jesus, and we waiting for him to return, it's not happening. That'd be the worst thing you can do, because the game has passed him by. Forget about 2002, 2001. Those days are long gone. You know, so Gruden is not the answer. Let that silliness go. He's part of the reason why we've been in neutral for so long, as opposed to being in drive when you got a Ruggs and Clelin Ferrell and Damon Arnett and Jonathan Abram and on and on. These are first round picks we're talking about. Most Alex Leatherwood, most of them not even in the league. That's who you want back?
No. Whoa. Don't put me in that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, not you, Cap. But I'm seeing way too much as people serve up AP like, prime rib as the easy scapegoat. Whereas you look up and down his roster, it's completely depleted. And then the one guy who might go outside of Max, one of the few Hall of Fame candidates you had in Davante Adams faking an injury and getting his ass out of here. That type of morale or that type of energy is contagious, and it can sap a young team that's trying to find its way, that felt so good just 9 or 10 months ago, and during the off season didn't do enough. That's the bottom line. So if AP gonna fall on the sword, then that man who's supposed to assemble the talent and get a competent product in place for AP to lead has to fall on the sword first.
Hey, I want to give some props to Jared Bunch, the former Raiders football player, University of Michigan running back. He's also over here on Instagram. Good to see you there, Jared. I do try to recognize people. So salute to you, sir. Jared's been a guest of mine before when I was doing the interviews. Jared, if you want to come into the show, that would be cool. I would love to have the opinion of a former Raider of what is going on here and what he can see, because again, we're all suffering Raider fans. We're all suffering Raider fans. But Jared Bunch, welcome to the show. Also, Jeff Langham, and I'm sure that and I want to make sure I get some 94 Villalobos, Frizz Daddy, Jay Raider, John Chris 12, Velox D408, Raider Los, Tank for Sanders. No, I do not. I'm sorry, brother. I don't want Shedeur Sanders. I would rather have Cam Ward. If we're going to talk about a quarterback that can run and throw, I would like to take Cam Ward, because I don't think he's going to be as much of a mental headache that Shedeur Sanders would be. My opinion, I might be wrong, but I would rather have Cam Ward than Shedeur Sanders. What say you on that one? Stanos.
Yeah, I think Shedeur does come with a lot more distractions, and that's not what we need. However, if Cam's not available by default, yes, I would take him, because his father has already gave a endorsement, if you will, or indication when he took his tour of Allegiant, how pleased he was and smiling ear to ear and thinking of the branding opportunities and everything else. But that's just the business these days. Like Davante Adams didn't have any type of commercials before he came to Vegas. Then all of a sudden he was the face for Taco Bell. But ironically, all he was doing was giving Raider fans diarrhea by being inconsistent and then deciding to quit on the team. So Shedeur is certainly better than what we had. I hate to say it, but it's just the fact of the matter. But I would give Cam the slight edge if it was just up to me.
I'd take Cam Ward and the way the Raiders are playing, we might have the top pick if it's between us and the Panthers. Since they beat us, we would have that pick by default.
It looked like we finally did something right. I remember a couple of years ago when we lost to the Texans, and I called that the C.J. Stroud Bowl.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they end up getting Stroud, and we got something that wasn't that consequential. But that was 2022 when we played them around.
Well, and again, okay, and Wilson is still on our team, so he's not debust yet. Okay, and he's serviceable. Okay, I think that he's more serviceable than Cleve Farrell, and I know that those are one of those names that you had in that list because I was at the draft in Nashville too. I was there right next to Mark, who was the meme. You know the meme.
That's right.
Yeah, I was right next to him, and I wasn't. Mark's face was legendary. I will say that was legendary. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go look up the Raider fan meme for when Cleve Farrell was drafted number 4. And I'm standing next to Mark, but the camera zoomed in on Mark, and it was legendary. Esther Delilah, thank you for coming here as well. Jared, if you'd like to, please pop in over here at YouTube. He might have left. That would have been cool to have Jared Bunch come in here. But Jeff Langham says, you think the coach should be fired? What do you think about AP? I think that we really need, and I said we need a coaching change, but the first coaching change we need is at the OC position, and we'll go from there.
Totally. And I told you 6-7 months ago how disgusted and perplexed I was at hiring Getsy coming out of that garbage lot called Chicago, and how abysmal that team was, whereas they had the first pick in the draft. But again, I think because Davante was one of the people advocating for him because of his past relationship with him. So it's like Davante hurting us all over again. And some of the choices today were so borderline comical, you would think you were watching a National Lampoon movie, or us deciding to kick a field goal at the 9-yard line on 4th down in the red zone. I hate to be the conspiracy theorist, but it makes me think someone's been given the order to tank. But Getsy, of all people, and I know you count and say, well, who else was available? And
I gotta ask though, other than Kingsbury, who turned down the job, because he had the job and we told him we were not going to go up for a quarterback. He said, "Yeah, no thanks." And the only other person was the guy who was the coach at the Eagles and UCLA and up in the Northwest. What's his name? I can't remember his name. The guy who was a locker room pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only guys. Yeah. I don't know. Wow. Hey, well, I will one thing, and I know Asylum that you and Sharif are lifelong fans and lifelong friends. I get it. But yeah, I get it that Getsy it Minshew played like shit. I get it, but I don't think that his plays were that great either. So that's it. And I agree with Rich McGee, Raider Nation for life. I'm still a Raider fan. I've been one for 52 years. Sharif, you've been a Raider fan for about that long, maybe plus or minus whatever I have. But you've been a Raider, and you're not going to turn in your colors. You're not going to run screaming. I'm going to be at Danes. I'm going to cheer my ass off. And I think Rich said that the Raiders are going to surprise the Chiefs. I think, though, that the Raiders do have their number per se, is that we match up well against them. I just don't know if we're going to be able to do it next week.
Well, sometimes hatred could be a great motivational factor, and if we can sum it up, that hatred of our most ancient rival and pull it off, then great. At least it'll be a temporary feel-good moment, because no one expected us to do that last season, Christmas Day, either.
Yeah.
Out there at Arrowhead. So yeah, anything's theoretically possible. But the way things have been looking, I wouldn't bet your house on.
Oh, Brady and Trump. What? Did you see this? Sure. Only Brady and Trump can save the Raiders now. Make the Raiders great again. Okay, there you go. Here you go. That's the only quasi political I'm going to go. As you know, I don't bring it to the show. By the way, I'm going to ask you this, and I'm going to get to Angelo, who is I didn't realize you've been. I just looked down, Angelo. You know me. Sometimes I don't notice. I'm going to get Angelo on in a little bit. What are your feelings to having Thomas, Derek, Dallas, Clark, Brady? Dallas Clark. I keep saying Dallas Clark because I know the tight end was good. Thomas, Dallas, Derek, whatever, friggin' Brady as the part owner or minority owner of your and my Las Vegas Raiders.
It's bizarre to say the least. It's the ultimate plot twist when you think about the Tuck rule and that generational hatred that persisted for damn near 2 decades. However, I was more receptive to the idea of him as a player. But because of Mr. Gruden having like something almost incestuous love affair with his surrogate son, Derek Dallas Carr, he nixed the deal, told Gronk and Brady, no, we don't want you. I'm going to stick with this dude. We saw how that worked out. Now, Brady and with Mark Davis walking him into the facility, fawning like a 14-year-old girl in love with her first crush, it is quite a sight to behold. It's a lot to process. Now, does he have the acumen? Does he have the resume? Does he have the experience? Does he have the winning G? Yes, he's demonstrated that. He's proven that. But will that necessarily be to the advantage of the Raiders? And it's also a psychological blow to a lot of us because
it is.
Because of how the tailspin the organization took after the Tuck rule, and Al being so furious after that, he fucking he didn't fire Gruden, he traded him. And then things kind of went from bad to worse until we had a brief period of relevance in 2016. And then your boy got hurt. He was never the same. That was all she wrote. But Brady was at the crucible of the fall of the Raiders. So maybe like in some crazy Greek mythology, it's meant for him to be the one to resurrect us. That would be the ideal scenario. So I'm not crazy about it, but from a business aspect and as far as someone who knows what he's doing or who has done it and done it to us, see, I'm not impressed by hiring a Telesco who we put our foot in his ass damn near for 11 years straight and never won anything. This type of move makes more sense to me because you bring in a winner, the ultimate winner aboard. He won so much that he damn near put us like in a 15-year coma. So reluctantly, I'm kind of eager to see how it turns out. But I'm not going to be like Mark Davis, like some clapping seal, looking like some effeminate male groupie, staring at him lovingly and clapping and all that. To me, that's not Raider-like. And his father probably turning in his grave, thinking about it.
Well, technically turning in his crypt.
Yes. Thank you for the correction. Absolutely.
Only because some people that have never been. Now I know you've been there to the Chapel of the Chimes, but there are people that have never been there. And Chuck and Faye and the Adventures. I'll see you next Sunday. I'll see you there on Sunday as well. Mental Raider. I'm freezing up. Catch you later. Okay, take care there, Mental Raider. I will see y'all in Vegas next weekend. I'm going to enjoy the weekend at least. I'm going to enjoy the weekend. Hey, by the way, I will say this before I get to Angelo. Okay, get with me off air because I want to share a little bit of karma. I'll share it with you, and I'll share it with Ed Winchell. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit of karma. I think you know of who the karma is about.
Yes, I got a pretty good idea, Cap.
Yeah,
and I
but I'll share some karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing.
But yeah, I'll share it with you. Karma's undefeated, but I tell you what, this one's like a slow poison. It's still pissing me off. It's not going as fast as I wanted to, but I did hear some good karmic things about it.
But well, whenever you're ready with me, Cap, I'm here.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will let everybody else enjoy the show. So, Asylum could get back eating his corn on the cob, and now that I've entertained him thoroughly. And
it's always fun. I said, it makes it fun. You come on, and Asylum comes on. Maybe Angelo in between will be like the buffer, but we'll see on that. Yeah, I tell you again, Chuck and Faye, we'll see you next week. Lelo Benuelos. I think I said that correctly, even with my accent. Jimmy Farrell, who is also loving the Yankees being here. Hey, you take care there, brother. You be well.
No doubt. Hit me up late on tomorrow, Cap, when you get a moment.
I will. And if not, just hit me up, say, hey, Schmuck, what the fuck were you talking about?
You got it, bro.
All right. Take care there, brother. All right. Black Thanos is out. We are immediately joined by Angelo.
I'm here.
The Raider transplant. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, Cap. Yeah, no, I noticed that you were busy in Kansas, so I did an Aiden O'Connell show under 2 hours in case you needed something.
No, I'm just saying normally, and this is the only here. Put your face up to the screen so I can do this. Okay, there you go. Normally, you actually ask.
Right.
That was the only thing. I'm like, I didn't hear a damn thing about it. So
okay. Because it was a good. It was like one of those shows where you could replay it because it was me, Afakasi, Severe, Jason, and we were all just talking about when Aiden O'Connell got named starter. And then I was like thinking, okay, well, maybe since he's not coming or he's busy, he can use this as a replay or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, like it was fantastic. It's just that it's the only thing is I didn't know about it, and that was surprising. Surprising. That's all.
Okay.
So
sorry, Cap. I didn't want to bother you while you were busy in Kansas. So, but I'll shoot you a text next time and go, hey, I noticed you haven't been on, so I did a quick hour or a quick 2 hours so you could use footage.
Yeah, no, that's all it was and I appreciate it because I know people were like saying, well, shit, I haven't seen the old fucker for a while. It was because I was working nights, guys.
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's
that
what I
didn't
thought.
Want to. But I was working nights. So that's what it was. And of course, you're a breath of fresh air, according to Asylum.
Thanks, Asylum. Right. Shout out to Twan too. I saw him on the.
I was mediating between Thanos and Asylum in the comments. Good to see you there, Twan, for sure. Pizzle's here too. Wild Turkey. It's always good to see everybody. Cool Kev's here. Yeah. Hey, Cool Kev, I'll tell you what. Starting from right now. Oh, Twan's in the back. Good. We'll have Twan come in too. Wild Turkey. It's always good to see him. Okay. I guess we'll have Twan come in. Quick on the draw. Again, Kev, get your clock ready. This will actually cut down on the time that Angelo will be on the clock because we're going to have a 3 screen. And so it won't all be Angelo. Twan, good to see you, man. What are you doing? What's going on? And what are your feelings about that debacle today? They played well at times. They did. They played well at times. And then other times it was like, how the fuck else can we fuck this up with Gardner Minshew?
Well, hey, blessings to everybody out there. It's not surprising. And I've been saying that for the last couple of weeks is, as soon as our best quarterback went down, that's what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It unfortunately, Minshew is Minshew, and the whole Minshew mania.
Mm-hmm.
I think Minshew mania is literally the mania that we get from watching him turn the ball over multiple times each game, and I think that's really what Minshew mania is really about. He averages 2 turnovers a game, and today he doubled down. A lot of people want to talk about, his 3 interceptions, but they fail to forget he was also the one that coughed up the fumble. So, those are 4 turnovers on Minshew himself. So, I don't want to say that he was the sole reason as to why we lost this game, but it's so ironic and so crazy in the results of this game that even with those 4 turnovers that we were still in the game all the way till the end. You know what I'm saying? And that just shows you how crazy things are in the game of football. But the 4 turnovers, it just does not surprise me in regards to Minshew. I've been saying this, when I even voted for AOC to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders, it is one of the downfalls that I had with Minshew is that he turns the ball over, and he just showed it again. The same thing that benched him is the same thing that he showed us today. So, if the sky is blue, don't come in and say it's pink.
Can I throw this one out there, Cap? Because
okay.
I haven't really given you my take yet or anything.
Sure.
But because me and Severe, I was kind of going back and forth with Severe about this. But my assessment of it, and Cap, I'm always going to side on the positive of things, right? And on the positive of things, in all honesty, I think our defense is really good if they can get some breaks and actually get some rest, because they are literally right now without $100 million Christian Wilkins, Malcolm Koonce, Marcus Epps, and all the players are overplaying. The defense is actually overplaying their talents right now. Everybody's like playing on this higher level, and then on top of that, they're really tired. They are so tired. You can literally see how tired they are, and they're still trying. So I feel like, so I was asking Severe, like, look, man, do we just go the rest of the year and ride it out with, I don't know how long Aiden O'Connell's going to be out now because they put a splint on his thumb, and we all know that even a dislocation of thumb or a minor thumb bruise or whatever, that'll affect his throwing hands, so they probably won't let him start against Kansas. Are we really going to go with Gardner Minshew because we already know he's going to get smashed against Kansas? Do we try a new quarterback? So the trade deadline's not till November 5th. So I was wondering, I was just saying, and maybe you guys have a take on this. What would it cost us to go get Matthew Stafford? Because here's my opinion.
Thank you. I was. Oh my God, you're in my head. Okay. I was just thinking that. I said we just faced Matthew Stafford, so he can't hurt us. What I mean, if we get him on, if we get Matthew Stafford at a discount price, kind of like, remember that the Jets got Devontae at a discount price because nobody was really willing to get
in terms of draft picks.
Adams at our asking price.
Right. Here's my whole thing about it. Yeah, my whole thing about it, Cap, is I don't know the direction the Rams want to go, but they do have a lot of young talent in Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp. Or I'm not Cooper Kupp, sorry, Puka Nacua. They got Blake Corum. They got Jordan Whittington. They got all of these young players now that they have this older quarterback that costs a lot of money. Well, we have money and we could give up a pick. That's fine. But I feel like if we had Matthew Stafford right now, not only would we have won the game today, which we were in it. I mean, we were down by 5 praying for something. That's how good our defense overplays. So I feel like even though if you just take away the record, I feel like we're a better team than the Rams. We're actually in a better position than the Rams. We just don't have a quarterback that can deliver the ball to Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Trey Tucker, DJ Turner. You know, like we just need a quarterback, which is why, like I said, in the beginning of the year, we could have afforded getting Kirk Cousins. We chose not to, thinking we could just roll in there like how we are. But at 2-5, is it worth it to you, Twan, or worth it to you, Captain, to give up a pick in a trade to get someone like Matthew Stafford in the hopes of not only salvaging our season into maybe making it to the playoffs, or even if we don't make it to the playoffs and we're like 9-8 or 8-9 or whatever, we now have a bridge quarterback that can actually help us get to the playoffs in 2025 while we train our future quarterback, whoever that may be. Or are we just going to let Aiden do it and then we're just or whoever and completely tank?
Yes.
And okay.
Yes.
That's what you would rather do?
I'll take a shot. I would take a shot of Bradley until Aiden comes back. Ride it the fuck out. Because if we get any wins, we get wins. And if we don't get any wins, our draft stock goes up. And at least we're playing, because I know what we got with Minshew. I know what we got with Minshew. I seriously. So the answer to getting Stafford, although I was thinking, I'm like, no. I mean, if we had got Matthew Stafford for a 7th round pick and a ham sandwich, I would say sure. It's not. I mean, and it was like a conditional 7th, like an extra 7. Now that you can trade extra picks, I can't remember what they're, the conditional pick. Now that you can trade conditional picks, I'll trade whatever extra picks we get in the 7th round. Yeah, I'd even go in the 6th round if it's a conditional pick. Okay, if they said no, we want a higher pick. Okay, if we get those extra picks in the 6th, I'll part with one of those for that and a ham sandwich and some oral gratifications from Lola on the corner of wherever so Twan, close your ears, brother. I know I don't want you to be hearing about this stuff about oral gratification from girls up at what's the name of that place up in Vegas, the other area in Vegas. The older portion of Vegas.
The Bunny Ranch?
No. The North Vegas, above the Strat, Old Vegas.
Oh,
where the hotels are cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
Downtown
Vegas. Everything above the Strat. Yeah, everything above the Strat, Old Vegas. Okay.
Old Vegas.
Thank you. Wherever that, because the hotels are cheaper, right? You go find Lola for some oral gratification and a ham sandwich and a conditional 6th or a 7th, right? I'll take Matthew Stafford, but it's still no. I'll roll with again Bradley. I take Bradley right now starting the game. Okay, because Aiden O'Connell's not going to be there, right? And we know that AOC 12's not going to be there for a little while. I take Bradley. Maybe you get. I mean, hell, friggin' what's his nose from the Bears, who had Luke Getsy as his OC last year, the rookie.
Talking about Tyson
I can't remember his name, but the guy
Tyson
beat
Bagent.
us. And he's there you go,
Tyson
Agent
Bagent.
right? It's secret Bagent, man. Yeah. So there you go. I take him. But I don't know. I take that. I say Carter. I take Carter Bradley. Go ahead, Twan.
To answer your question, Angelo, I'm gonna sing a song, and I know it's gonna delight Captain Jack, because this is probably in his era. It's too late, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's too late. It's really too late to get a quarterback. What they should have did. See, he knows it. It is too late. When I would have been all for it with Stafford if they decided immediately after camp, when there was that battle that nobody really won. That's when they should have brought in a quarterback, but they didn't. So at this point, it's way too late, and especially with the money. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we have the money, but that money can be applied somewhere else, especially with our situation. I know people talk about a bridge quarterback. I think in reality and in real seriousness, our bridge quarterback is
you had me look it up. I was like, I'm sorry.
It's really AOC. Now, what's going to be very interesting, because I don't know the full specs on what the injury of AOC, but they're going to have to bring in another quarterback regardless because of that injury. Now, you have Carter Bradley that they can elevate up and have him play, and then you have Minshew that obviously we know what's going to come out of him, but who's going to be our emergency quarterback, especially with Jacoby Myers not being healthy? We know that he's been our emergency quarterback, but who's going to be our emergency quarterback now? So
here's a couple of things, Twan, because I want you to keep going. But remember that these are not video games. These are actual people. And when the defense is overplaying that hard, and right now they're still bought into the whole, we're going to play hard no matter what. If you don't give them any type of relief on offense, and you basically tell them, we're going to have Gardner Minshew for the next few weeks, do you really think there's not going to be any business decisions being made by the defense now? Because what's the point of trying? So that's why I was saying right now, let's say you guys don't want to give up anything for Matthew Stafford. Would you take a shot, Twan, at – I don't know why Ryan Tannehill is still a free agent, but last time I checked, he wasn't that bad.
The business moves, I think the business decisions are going to happen regardless, unfortunately. And we've already seen some sparks a little here and there of the business decisions. And I think that also with the business decisions, they know what contract they signed up to in the beginning of the season. They knew that our defense was actually going to be, they knew up and down. When we looked at the totality of this team, the offense was never going to be the side of the ball that was going to carry the backpack. It was going to be on our defense. So they kind of already know that if we were going to win games, it was going to be on this defense. Now they probably didn't understand that it was going to be this frustrating on the offensive side of the ball, but I think they have a reality that what they have is what they have. And I said it on one of my other brothers' channels, and I'm going to say it here because it's true. The reality of where we are as a team is our team is young in all the wrong places. And that's why we're at where we're at. When you start to really break down our roster is fair. I've been saying this; it's been fairly young. But when you look at the pillars of our team, it's all young. What is our offensive line outside of Colton Miller? Young, and that's why we're having struggles on our offensive line. I'm not saying that our offensive line. I'm not saying that our offensive line can't build itself up and get better, but I just think we're young. DJ Glaze is still trying to, handle his job. Parham is a young player. You have JPJ, he was having some, he was getting some flags today, and stuff like that. So you have a whole bunch of, young guys there that are still trying to figure things out. Now with the quarterback, I think, for me personally, I think Minshew needs to be on the next Spirit flight out of here. You know what I'm saying? I think we could just move on from him. You know what I'm saying? Because the way the contract is set up, you know, we can get out of that, you know what I'm saying, this upcoming year. And my plan for us at quarterback is to draft a quarterback. So that means you'll have AOC there, you know what I'm saying, as the backup quarterback. And then you have the guy that let's just say Cam Ward, for those that like Cam Ward.
AOC,
Cam Ward comes
AOC 12.
You know, and then
AOC, Twan, you get a no, wait a second. You get, because you are awesome, you get one F up of an AOC, okay, just like Anna Diaz did. You know, you get one of them, because I love you. Remember, thank you.
So we have AOC 12 as the backup quarterback, and then we have Cam Ward as a starting quarterback, and then Carter Bradley can still be in the practice squad and will be good. So I think that'll be the better situation, because with that money, there's going to be some guys that we got to bring back. We got to bring Merrick back. We got to bring Spillane back. We got to, try to see what we're going to do with Divine Diablo. What are we going to do with Kuntz? I think we should give him a 1-year contract and make that a prove-it contract. You know what I'm saying? So that he can, prove it to us again that he's deserving of that bag. So they're going to have to play ball, but definitely we're going to have to use that money in other places, especially if we want to keep this defense intact. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the main cogs of that defense intact, because I think moving forward, we're not going to be an offensive team like we were with Derek Carr. We're going to be in a position where it's going to be the defense that's going to keep us in games and win us games.
Yeah, no, I mean, like again, I'm just saying that if the defense now in the Pittsburgh game, I saw him trying I felt like we were in it even up to the fourth quarter. We just didn't have the offense to be able to make a comeback run, right? It's kind of like when you look at a college team who has a good defense, but their offense sucks. So then, so that's how I'm looking at it. So even today, the fact that every opportunity for us to just give up, right? Like when Gardner Minshew threw the first interception, if we were a weaker morale team, that wheels would have came off, but the wheels didn't come off. And then the fumble, right? The wheels still didn't come off. And even on this, all the way to the end, had we had Matthew Stafford at the 10 to go 90 yards with 1:40, the whole team would be galvanized in like, hey, we could win this, right? The problem is we don't have that. So now, Twan, we got 11 more weeks. I understand that one of them is a bye week, right? But that's 10 more games of asking this defense to try as hard as they're trying. They're not going to do that, man, without a solution. That's why I'm like, can you give them Ryan Tannehill, for example? Can you give them an idea that they're not going to be left out to dry?
There's a positive, though. And a lot of people are not realizing this. Like I said, a lot of the pieces that we're looking at, especially when it comes to the cap, some of these guys that we're going to have to re-sign are actually in those positions. So do you think Merrick's going to play? You think Merrick's going to be taking business decisions? No, because his bag is coming up. Spillane, do you think that he's going to be making business decisions? Because his bag is coming up. So a lot of the guys that you might think are going to fall off, they can't fall off. They can't afford to fall off because they know that at the end of the season, Telesco is going to have that conversation with them, and based on their performance, whether our offense is horrible or whatever, it's going to be based off of their performance. So a lot of these guys are playing for their own personal bag. I hate to say it like that because we always want to think about, our team playing for the team, but now they're, a lot of these guys are playing for selfish reasons. And I know you're a boxer and you know this term, but we're in a situation where we're boxing with one arm.
Yeah. With a broken hand.
How well can you do that?
Yeah.
So that's just where we are.
All right. So let me throw this one out at you then. Because as I'm watching the Steelers team right now, Cap, and I was telling you that they're actually.
I don't give a fuck. I'm watching the baseball game. Sorry.
No, but I'm just letting you know because I know you said they suck. They're currently ahead 16-15, and with Russell Wilson as their quarterback, that entire arena right now is pumped because they have a guy who could throw the ball exactly where it needed to go. So now that I know at the end of this game, no matter what the result is, the narrative is going to be, oh, Russell, we got to go with Russell Wilson the rest of the year because he can actually deliver the ball. How about we get Justin Fields? What would be the problem with just going, well, you guys aren't going to use Justin Fields now, so why don't we take Justin Fields for a cheapie? No one likes this idea of
First off, Angelo, I know that I say this as humor because I know you don't do that. You're smoking something. If you think that the Steelers would give up Justin Fields when Wilson has one good game and is a play away from another injury.
Okay, true.
One play away from another injury. And they're going to give up Justin Fields for what? The ham sandwich and the conditional 7th round pick and Lola up at Fremont. That was where I was trying to go with that. Fremont District. The North Bay. Fremont Street, right? Okay. If you think that they're going to give up Justin Fields like the Rams are going to give up, what's his nose for a 7th rounder, a ham sandwich, and Lola up in Fremont, it ain't happening, man. It ain't happening. The point is that I take a flyer on Tannehill because then you're only giving up money for him. You're only giving up money for Tannehill because he's a free agent.
Okay.
He's a free agent. You're only giving up money for him.
I'm still on the mode of
that's if you want to do it. That's if you want to do if you want to do it. I'd still say I want Carter Bradley to be our quarterback and let the team win or lose and just let it go. Just let it go. We know that this team is going to be different next year. You don't know whether I know we're going to have a new offensive coordinator next year. Hell, we might have a new offensive coordinator next week. That's to be determined. Whether AP stays or not is dependent. I don't know. But if Robert Saleh, I'd love to have Robert Saleh as our defensive coordinator. But that also means that our defense is playing so well that Graham gets a head coaching job based upon his defense playing so well. He's going to be gone. So you're going to need to replace him with a defensive coordinator. So Robert Saleh might be available, but other people might be thinking that Robert Saleh might be a good head coach or defensive coordinator. So you're going to have to fight for him. Okay. But I would still see, I would get Tannehill. A Raider, they should, yeah, he wants Tannehill too. And Laney, thank you for being here. Calavera Ramchair. I'm trying, you guys can't see my Instagram. I'm trying to go bounce back and forth. But no Justin Fields. We don't need Justin Fields. If you need a quarterback, throw some money at Tannehill. Because here's the thing. Once you go past week 1, none of the money is a guaranteed contract. It's week to week, unless it's written that it's guaranteed. If you write it that it's guaranteed, then it is a guaranteed contract. But once you get past week 1, it's a week to week contract. Look that up. It's true. Okay, that's why being on the roster on week 1 gets you a guaranteed contract through the year. And if you sign on week 2, it's week to week. So, but I don't want Justin Fields. Tannehill, if you want a quarterback that is out there, I don't know of any other quarterback. I might be mistaken. I don't know of any other quarterback that is available that is worthy. I mean, I'd say Joe Flacco, but he's playing rather well.
Yeah, no, they're not going to let Joe Flacco go. But free agent wise, PJ Walker is available.
He's not a free agent.
Right. I'm just saying the free agents that are available are PJ Walker, who used to play for Carolina, Ryan Tannehill, John Wolford, Pee Wee Jarrett, Rocky Lombardi, Nate Sudfeld. Like, these are your free agents.
Pee Wee Herman, hey, that's not nice. Pee Wee Herman is dead. Pee Wee Herman is dead. How dare you bring up Pee Wee Herman?
It's Pee Wee Jarrett, Cap.
I'm just saying.
Okay. So, but I mean, that's why I was pointing to the Tannehill thing, just because, again, my whole point is I get what you guys are saying, because if we ride it out, whatever it is, we'll probably only win at most 2 more games. We'll get a top 5 pick. And at a top 5 pick, you're now looking at we're within striking distance of Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. I mean, you name it. We're in striking distance. I still think that, and I don't know if you agree with me on this one, Twan, but I think Ashton Jeanty is a hell of a talent. I'm about to go see him live on Friday against UNLV. But man, anybody who's got a chance to break Barry Sanders' record, I don't know, man. That seems like a pretty special talent to me. So it'd be hard to pass up on Ashton Jeanty if he happens to fall in your lap like a Brock Bowers did. But I know not a lot of people really want a running back, so I get it.
In the first round? In the first round?
This kid might win the Heisman over.
Oh, I know. I know who he is. I'm not stupid. I know who he is. I do watch on Saturday when I would get off my job at Friday night and I would go into Saturday morning. I would catch the college shows. I know who he is. He's the Division 4A guy who's going to break LaDainian Tomlinson's record for most yardage. See, I do pay attention. Okay, I know the kid. Oh, whatever. LT, Barry said whatever the fuck it is, but he's going to break the record. I know who he is. Point is that do we need a running back? We need a fucking quarterback.
I know.
As much as
and
that
by
would
the way,
be,
we got JPJ in the second round. Maybe he drops.
As much as it sounds like a Brock Bowers type of acquisition, we got to get the quarterback, and I think that's where we would go. I think if we did, and I think it would benefit. I hate to say the tank word because that's just not. That's not in that. I feel like that's not in Raider vocabulary. It shouldn't be in Raider vocabulary. Now, if we do find our way in with the number 5th pick, you know what I'm saying? We could trade back and really still get that quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that I've been looking at it of recent, the guys that are categorized as going to be ahead of us in the draft, they all have quarterbacks. So, we could be in a position where we can kind of play ball and like say we're in the 5th round, the 5th pick, and then, trade back to 7 or trade back to 9 and still get and get capital, because we have a lot of things that we have to address outside of quarterback. That's why last year I was opposed to, the Efton picks, crew and see how it looks now that we're about to be in a position where we don't have to F them picks and still get a quarterback. So I think that's really what's missing in this offense is really just a quarterback. Now, if we just got that and didn't address anything else, I think we would be a whole lot better than where we are now, because I think the real downfall offensively is really our quarterback play. Has our O-line played its best? No, but our O-line also has done, has done well. I think just when AOC 12 was in there, he was doing fine. I didn't have much of a problem with him, and how our offense was moving when he was in. Now, what happened after that? I can't, I got to go watch the tape at least 3 more times and try to come back and give you guys some Raider gospel on that. But, I think there's some things there, but it's just, again, we got to go get that quarterback. We've been, everybody wants to talk about Derek Carr. And I think the downfall of the Derek Carr regime was that we had Derek Carr, but then we didn't have anybody behind him to groom into, that position. Right. So we gotta get that quarterback at this point.
So then when we're, and again, I bring this subject up because unlike last year, in which I will admit that I was wrong too, because I didn't think that these particular rookie quarterbacks were day one going to make a difference, but boy, was I wrong. Caleb Williams is clearly day one making a difference. Jaden Daniels is clearly day one making a difference. I saw Drake May today, and even in a losing effort, I'm like, this kid's going to be something, man. Like when they get it together, this kid's going to be a good future for them. Drake May looked good. And then even all the way to your 4th round pick in a Spencer Rattler, he's not horrible. You know what I mean? So, but certainly in 2023, there were in that draft, there were a lot of day one going to make a difference type players, right? The ones that got taken. And we don't even know how good Michael Penix is yet, right? We have no idea because he's sitting right there. He's in the Jordan Love
sitting on the show
of Atlanta, right? But is there a day one difference maker in this college draft coming up? Because all I hear about is 6'3" Cam Ward. And then it's a pretty big fall off, man. Like I just saw Texas versus Georgia, and I'm like, all right, let's pretend that those defenses are in the NFL. Well, that quarterback didn't look that good, and that quarterback didn't look that good. So I don't know. I mean, do you want Carson back?
But those are defenses in Texas and especially in Georgia. And yes, I am biased. I'm going to say this right off. I am SEC biased, but SEC is the best fucking conference in the entire college football. So if you have a defense that is awesome in the SEC, they are littered with kids that are going to be playing at the pro level on Sundays. And Georgia's got a shit ton of them, and Texas has a few of them as well. So if Carson Beck didn't look good and Brock Ewers didn't look good, it's because that they are playing a JV NFL team per se.
And that's my whole point, though.
Having said that, I'll still take Cam Ward over everybody. And now notice Shedeur Sanders. I want Cam Ward. That's
okay, but let's say Cap, you can't get Cam Ward. That's my whole point. That's where I start to say, if Ashton Jeanty falls in my lap, I might be able to get Jackson Dart in the 2nd round anyway, or the kid from Indiana University anyway. Like, you know,
Angelo, I know some people are not going to agree with this, and that's perfectly fine. It's my Raider gospel. I believe in Shedeur. And the reason why I believe in Shedeur Sanders is because when I look at his offensive line, it looks like our offensive line.
Okay, that's a good point.
and because his offensive line that he's been working with and winning games looks like our offensive line, I think he would be okay. I think he would still be able to deliver the ball to our weapons all over the field. And let's just say our offensive line is better than his offensive line. Then that just makes him even more of a better quarterback.
That's a really good point.
I've seen him pretty much, and I'll say it in a hood term, get it out the mud. I've seen him get it out the mud, in regards to pulling out a game. You know what I'm saying? Now yes, his wide receivers are talented. Yes, I think there is
Travis Hunter's pretty good too.
2 or 3 wide receivers on that Colorado roster that needs to be on an NFL team. But with that being said, like I said, we have the weapons. It's just, can whoever that quarterback play in front of that offense, behind that offensive line. And like I said, when I look at the Colorado offensive line, a pass and where they kind of are now, it's similar to what we got right now with the Raiders.
No, that's a really good point, Twan, because what you're saying is you believe that Shedeur Sanders is a playmaker. He can play make like a la Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
Like for example,
Yes, he is. I agree. But you know what? You don't just get Shedeur Sanders. You get his dad with him. It's kind of like you don't get LaMelo Ball. You get LaMelo Ball and his dad. And that's the unfortunate thing. It's the two. I don't want the two. If you can come in and get Shedeur Sanders in an interview at the Combine, you're going to need to do this. You're going to have to see what you get with him. And if he passes the tests of what you're looking for in that respect, go ahead. But I'm just deathly afraid of what you get with, and again, prime time is the shit. No disrespect to prime time, but I don't think that the mental makeup is what you want. And if I'm wrong, I'll be, and you guys know if I say something wrong and I've been proven wrong, I'll be more than happy to come back at a later time and say, I was wrong about that. I can do that. I've never said I've never been wrong. I've been mistaken. Actually, I have. That's my joke. But the point is, I will actually admit to things that I've been wrong about. But I would rather have Cam Ward, and if Shedeur Sanders stands up without what I think you're going to get, sure. And there are other people. So, Sharif, is there really a Joe Pisarcik Jr.? Is Joe Pisarcik's kid really in the draft? That'd be funny if it is. But, I'd take Joe Pisarcik Jr. if he really exists at this point. If you guys don't know who Joe Pisarcik is, just look it up. But I'm afraid. And Twan, like I said, Shedeur Sanders is a playmaker. But I'm just deathly afraid of what you get with him.
Yeah, and that's going to be, that's just going to be with anybody, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that has connections to a, ex-NFL player, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be, what is Pops going to have, in that situation? And what I've been seeing is that he's been kind of, letting Shedeur do his thing in regards to, hey, you're going to go to the NFL, whatever. And I think he's fine with coaching in Colorado, but that's always going to be in speculations of any team. I think if he went over to Miami and was playing for Miami, they'd be like, okay, is Deion coming too? And I think that's going to be the talk of the town regardless. But if out of the question, when you're talking about,
actually, Twan, it's not that you get Sanders as a add-on. It's you get him in the head. Okay, that's what I meant. It's you get the father's mentality in the head, not on the staff. I didn't mean it that way. I want to know what the kid's like without his dad being 5 steps behind him at every available thing. I'm afraid. And I said, I'm going to say a bad word here. I mentioned Patrick Mahomes at the beginning of this broadcast because his father was a Major League Baseball player and he was a decent Major League Baseball player, but he's far surpassed his dad. Okay. Like, for example, Steph Curry and his brother surpassed their father. They're better athletes. They're better kids. And they've done better than their dad did. But with Shedeur Sanders, I'm just afraid of what you're going to get with primetime being in the local vicinity. That's all I'm saying is I want to see if they can do it without him being in the room in the head. That's all I'm saying. That's what I meant.
I had to put this up real quick, Twan, because yes, Anna, I'm watching it too. Yeah, the Steelers, Cap, are about to be 5-2 here, the way it's looking, and Devontae basically got traded to another 2-5 team. I'm just gonna say.
Hey, those are the breaks.
Could happen to a nicer guy.
But back to what you're saying.
Those are the breaks.
That's going to be the question, right? And I think that might be his downfall per se, because everybody wants to say, oh, he's always been under daddy. He's always been under daddy. Daddy's always coached him. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's going to have to prove, prove that, like you said, he's gonna have to prove that in the combine when he's by himself and when they're doing the interviews by himself and do that. But I think he just what I see from him, he has a good head on his shoulders, and I think he's in a good place. But to Angelo's statement too of the quarterback, I think Cam Ward right now is the census number one. I know some people want to say that Shedeur is but that's based on opinion or whatever. But for me, I think Cam Ward is that number one. But if we cannot get that, I'm definitely looking at Shedeur because, like I said, for the reasons that I said previously, his offensive line is he's still working with a not so good offensive line, and they're still getting, he's still doing some nice things offensively there.
So let me throw these names at you because you guys watch way more college football than me, but we know that Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward are going to be the two.
May I real quick? China, everybody can come in. That's that. You guys know, if you have something to say, click the fucking link. Okay. I'm not trying to F-bomb you, China. You say you want to come in on the conversation. Great. The only problem is that we got about 9 minutes to go, and it's kind of late to be coming in at this point in juncture. So I wanted to say that anybody could come in. This is for everybody, but it's a little late now. Maybe when we do another show, keep these thoughts in mind, let them stew, and then come in again, because you guys know this is not my show, it's your show, it's our show. Everybody can come in. So having said that, I will shut up and let Angelo finish his point, and then he'll get us out of here at under 2.
Yeah, and China Tuesday, I think Captain Jack's going to be back Tuesday at 6 or 9 Eastern. So I'm going to throw these names out at you because
Tuesday.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw these
Tuesday.
names out, Twan, right? I know that Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, those are the type of quarterbacks that you're looking at in the top 3. And if you can somehow get them, great. But if you can't, is what I'm saying. Let's say we're pick number 7, like the Tyree Wilson pick, right? We're number 7 for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, right now we're currently number 6, but let's say we end up 6 or 7. Are you really going? And here are the names, man. This is according to ESPN. Here are your names. Are you going to go Carson Beck? Are you going to go Jalen Milroe, which I hated watching that game against Tennessee? I mean, that's a project. You want to talk about another Joe Milton, man? There you go.
I don't like Alabama quarterbacks anyway.
No,
and then Quinn
Jalen Milroe is the newest version of Bryce Young.
Right. Then Quinn Ewers didn't look. Yeah, Quinn Ewers didn't look that great to me. Garrett Nussmeier from LSU, is that your number 7 pick?
Oh, Nussmeier, no. No, on Nussmeier. No.
Drew Aller of Penn State, is that your number 7 pick? I don't think so. Now that's what I was saying is Jackson Dart of Ole Miss, I think will end up like a Derek Carr. He's going to end up in the 2nd round anyways. So why not let the most talented person fall to you, and then in the 2nd round go get Jackson Dart as an example? Or they're talking about that Miller Moss kid for USC, but I don't like it. There's that Indiana kid, and Indiana's undefeated right now. That Curtis Rourke, that guy's going to be like mid-2nd round, man. We might get him as our extra 2nd round pick from the Jets. That's what I'm saying, baby. I still need a left tackle.
Okay.
I still need.
Thank you. You were that, because I was going to say shut up, because are you going to take a running back when we need another guard and tackle that is more important than this
I wanted the
running
LSU
back
guy.
that you said if we're dropping down?
Yeah. No, I know, Cap. But that's what I was trying to say. I would want the best available.
Right. I want an offensive guard, offensive tackle, or another edge if all of the good quarterbacks are gone.
Yeah, because I mean, I love Colton Miller, but he's a little long in the tooth, fellas, and I don't know.
I know it's early, but I guarantee you that one of those quarterbacks, if we're there at 7, is going to be there. Because again,
you think so?
again, all the teams that right now you say suck record wise, they all have quarterbacks.
Okay, all right. So you think Shedeur Sanders could fall down to 7?
The only way that we will miss out on a quarterback is if somebody, you know what I'm saying, from the depths, you know what I'm saying, somebody like in 25th gives up a whole boatload and tries to jump ahead of us. But if we were just going roster, team by team, we're getting that starting quarterback in the first round.
Okay, I like that. So if you're saying that we're at number 7, we're not going to make a mistake again and go grab whatever. There's going to be a quarterback like a Cam Ward or a Shedeur Sanders that's going to fall into our lap, and then we're going to be fine.
It's not going to be like last year, because last year there was a whole lot of teams that were quarterback hungry, you know what I'm saying? And they end up getting it. That's why, and we were hoping on, a lot of us were hoping on Penix, but then Atlanta did, pulled an audible on that. But there was a lot of hungry teams that were hungry for quarterbacks at that time. They're like I said, the teams that are going to be at the top of they already have quarterbacks.
Okay. All right. Because those are the names, Cap. I just watched the Syracuse UNLV game. I was there for that. And I watched Kyle McCord basically beat us in overtime. And I'm looking at it going, Kyle McCord's probably going to be in the 3rd round. Why don't I just wait for him? He doesn't look horrible to me. You know what I mean? Unless it's a superstar quarterback, I don't want to draft. I want to draft someone that it's going to excite everyone. And I agree with you guys. I agree that Cam Ward would excite a lot of people here. And I agree that Shedeur Sanders would actually bring a lot of excitement. But that's about it, guys. I don't see Carson Beck all of a sudden bringing Raider Nation together. Like, that's our next guy. Or Quinn Ewers, man. Are you kidding me? He looked horrible to me. I was like, dude, if you can't handle that, you're not handling the Chargers defense for the next 4 years of our stay here. So I need somebody who can excite us. So that was a really good point, Twan. I just want to say about Shedeur Sanders, he does have a terrible line, and yet he's still able to make things happen. So I never even thought of it that way, but okay, I'm back on the Shedeur could be right up there. So anyways, Cap, I defer to you because we're running out of time now. So thank you.
Yeah, Twan, again, I appreciate all that you said. Angelo, I appreciate all that you said. The only reason why I had that number up is that I'm looking at the clock, and we got about 2 minutes to get out of here if we want to use this again. And I think this has been a good show because we've been talking some good shit. So I appreciate everybody coming in. Remember, folks, this show is for everybody. If you have a dissenting opinion, please come in. Please come in. Don't ask, hey, I want to get in on the conversation. Come the fuck in. And that's not directed at you as an aw shit, China. Come in. But unfortunately, now we're out of time. Angelo, I'm going to let you do the outro. Twan, I salute you as well. Angelo, go ahead and take care of everybody. Y'all, we'll be back on Tuesday with Miss Peggy at 9:00 Eastern time. And then when she leaves, I'll do an extra show or up to 2 hours as long as there's participation. So everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for welcoming me back. Hey, thank you for letting me work for 2 weeks so I can get some money.
Thanks, Cap. Thanks, Twan. Thanks for coming in. All right, everyone. We'll see you on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.